This is Merchandise Mart. Transfer to Brown Line trains at Merchandise Mart. Doors closing.
Cheers. What did you say?
Kanpai.
Kanpai. You got a drink after you cheers. Okay. Okay, so welcome to the Wisendale Weekly Wrap-Up. This week I have with me two more ladies who are doing exceptional things. I wanted you guys to come on because we're going to launch this around Thanksgiving, so I think it's a perfect opportunity for us to talk about kind of what you guys are doing and as far as the communities you're involved in. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay. My name is Sara and I am a local architect here in Chicago.
Cool.
My name is Kaitlyn TenHarmsel, and I am also an architect.
Nice. Very nice. So I know Sara because we used to work together back in the day. And then Sara, and then the three of us used to work together back in the day as well. And now we all don't work together. And then recently, Kaitlyn, you said that you are leaving your job. I
am.
Nice. What made you decide to do that?
So the organization that Sara and I both went to East Africa with, Community, I have decided to do that full time. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, so we just announced, when was that, last Monday?
Last Monday, yeah.
Announced publicly that I am the new executive director of the organization.
Congrats.
Yeah, thanks.
There's a lot of round of applause going out there from the million listeners.
Yeah.
How did they determine that you are now executive, or how does that come about?
We went through a process as a board of directors, and we discussed it. We did a lot of research and talked to outside counsel on it, and determined that right now in the season that I was the best person for that.
Yeah.
I have all the relationships with our partners and donors, and
that's awesome.
I also have a lot of ideas for the future of the organization.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. And so just a little background on what Community is. Could you explain
Sure.
on that one?
Yeah. So we are a nonprofit, and we work with East African communities to develop sustainable solutions to poverty. And we do that through access to basic needs, a quality education, and sustainable incomes.
Very cool. And it's funny because I'm repeating this, but I saw two areas, Kenya and
Ethiopia.
Ethiopia. Thank you so much.
Yeah. We work in two regions of Kenya, Kajiado County, which is 2 hours south of Nairobi. That's the Maasai land.
Okay.
And then Pokot, Kenya, which is northwest. It's on the border of Uganda. It's pretty remote. Takes a little time to get there.
Gotcha.
And then the capital city of Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. So very, very different areas.
Are they different people too?
Oh,
yeah. Are the culture is different?
Totally different.
Like, what are the different? So explain it again. So so you're saying North Kenya and Southern Kenya.
Yeah.
And then those cultures are different than Ethiopia.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. So how are they
different?
Can you touch on that?
Well, they're different tribes.
Okay.
Ethiopia, it's the capital city, so there's a lot of different tribes represented there, and it's obviously more developed. But in Kenya, we work in some pretty rural areas, and so in Kajiado County, it's the Maasai. They're known for their beautiful, colorful beadwork and the red fabrics. Mm-hmm. They're known for what else?
Warrior kind of mentality.
Gotcha.
They value animal life very highly.
Yeah.
Really?
But even in Kajiado, we work in different communities that also are very different. I feel, from my experience there, are very different even within Kajiado.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
How many people went with you on this recent trip? How many people typically go?
There was 10. That was the biggest group we've had.
Oh,
so
really?
Usually we try to keep it in one vehicle. So usually it's around 7 people.
Yeah.
But this year it kept growing, and I kept saying, "Yeah, come on, let's go."
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And so we ended up with 10 people, but it was great. It was a really good group of people that came.
So since you've been working on this since 2010 or with this organization, how did they or you determine the tribes to work with? So is that like a selection process? Or I don't know
no, it's been pretty organic. Okay. Our founder, when she was there in 2007 for the first time, she had met a local pastor there, and that they had established a friendship. And so the very first project, it was not even dreamt up to be an organization at that point. She went home she was a professional ballerina, and with her dance company, they put on a fundraiser and a dance performance called Community to raise money for a clean water project in one of the villages. And so that relationship continued to grow. He continued to rise up in ranks in the community. And with that, we got like our geographical area grew. So we started in this one village, Obissel, and since then we've expanded to Caggiato County, which is about a million people. Damn. So then through another connection, we ended up in West Pocatello County, which is the northwest part of the country. And really our connection there, actually, they ended up leaving the area. It's a challenging place to work. And we kind of just stayed. And so that's how we got to those two areas. And same with Ethiopia. I think our founder was there with another group just for a couple of days and made some relationships.
From the northern Kenya? Like, are you starting in northern Kenya, then going southern, then going to Ethiopia?
No, we start in Caggiato. So we land in Nairobi, drive about 2 hours south into Caggiato County.
And you're coordinating all of that travel? With
our partners. I mean, we have amazing partners on the ground. Like, we really, here in the States, we're a fundraising and awareness and advocacy group of people. And then we are working with community leaders there, and they're the ones that are developing the programs and implementing them. I mean, our goal is to really come alongside them and support the work that they're already doing in their communities.
Nice.
Yeah.
I see.
I mean, we'll never know what Kenyans need. Kenyans know what they need.
Yeah, right? And what's the language they speak? I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm going to ask I'm going to ask you questions that I feel like I should know, but I'm sorry.
If they've had an education, they speak English, which is very helpful for us. Swahili is the main language, but also if you have not received education at any level, then it's usually just the local, more indigenous language. So Maasai or the Pokot speak Pokot. And so, sometimes we have a couple of different translators to communicate, which is always interesting.
So now that you guys said 10 people, I mean, what was the makeup? Are they all from Chicago? Are they all from all over? I know, Sarah, this is your first year?
Yes.
And how long were you guys there for?
About 10 days, or I was there for 10 days. So I just visited Kenya. I didn't travel with the group to Ethiopia. Only 3 people did. Or 4 people, sorry. 3 people plus Kate.
Yep.
So the makeup of the group was really like all over the place. So there was 3 of us in Chicago, me, Kate, and Brad. And then a couple people from Michigan/Colorado. Nice. One from Boston, a couple from Philadelphia, and one who used to live in Chicago but now lives in Atlanta. So it was really like the day we all left, it was really exciting to see, everyone's flights all coming in and getting in. And we actually met in Qatar airport, or most of us met there. So just because most of the people Kate knows personally, a lot of us had never met each other in person until...
Do you go by Kate? She's talking about you. I'm assuming, right? Okay.
Yeah, no, it took me a while to do that too.
I was like, wait, I've always called her Kaitlyn. I don't know.
It's so funny.
Are you talking about this girl right here?
It's either.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, transition to Kate.
Okay, I see. You go on a trip. You're called Kate. Okay, understood.
It's a rite of passage in our relationship. Maybe by the end of this, you'll be there.
Like when I know people can spell my last name.
Yeah, that's tough.
They're a friend. Yeah. But so
you guys traveled in together and then ever saw everybody come in and that's awesome.
We did a lot of prep work before the trip. So we had monthly calls. Yeah.
It was every 3 weeks.
Every 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Kate helped lead the calls, which were fantastic because I felt like they really helped us prepare for the trip and understand the basis of the organization and just really explore a lot of ideas and concepts that I had not really explored with other organizations. Yeah. And I think that's why community is unique and why personally I have stuck with it the past couple of years.
Oh yeah. I've backed out of organizations this past 2 years, I think, just because I didn't really fully embrace the cause. I mean, of course I'll do things and I'll support people and if anybody needs like my resources, like of course I'm there, but personal time, I just haven't been able to.
Time is so valuable.
It is.
And as you get older, somehow there's less and less of it. I don't know how that works.
I don't know how
So
that
you need
works
more
either.
and more sleep.
Right.
Yeah,
yes,
right,
but I don't
right.
get more and more sleep, so I'm not
I don't
quite
know.
sure.
Right.
But yeah, community, like Kate mentioned, we partner with local communities and individuals to do the work. We
Yeah.
don't do the work.
So what is that work?
So it's a wide range. We do clean water projects.
Mm-hmm.
We have a dairy co-op, which means we have cows there for the communities. We do educational sponsorships, mainly for girls, but in general, educational sponsorships. We do sustainable income programs, so beadwork, agriculture, always trying to utilize a skill that already exists within the community, and then just kind of empowering them to have that become a sustainable income. Yeah.
It is, now that you're both trained in architecture, do you feel, does that ever influence like the programming you guys do, or like teaching them different, I don't know, I want to say like building techniques, or I don't know, like different, like you said, the water, you know, like how do, I would assume you would have to build those structures to get that. Is that something that you guys focus
Not
on?
directly, no.
Not directly, okay.
Yeah, because we rely on local resources for all those efforts. So we're not going there and building anything, and we're not teaching our Western ways.
There's also brilliant architects in Kenya and Ethiopia, and so that was like
they really know what they're doing.
Nice, good.
Way better than we do.
Good.
don't ask us.
But there are certain skills that we've learned in architecture and in our industry. I always joke that my job is problem solving and project management. Skills like that have definitely helped, I think.
Oh yeah.
Just help us with the organization. And then, like Kate said, we mainly just do fundraising efforts and awareness efforts here. So graphic design.
But our fundraisers are a lot of fun because we're creative people.
Understood.
That's true. We are fun people.
There you go. So, and you guys have, I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, just like we also use like graphic design and social media efforts, and try and tap into everyone's individual skill sets to help the organization in whatever way that may be.
Are there other organizations in the same areas? I would assume that there are. Right?
I mean, in Addis Ababa, the capital city of Ethiopia, yes, absolutely. And in Kajiado County, where the Maasai live, absolutely. In West Pokot, not really.
No.
Okay. Yeah, like when we were driving there, we definitely saw some like clean water projects that we passed that may or may not have been successful, but there's not a lot of people there actually connecting with the communities. And
the Catholic Church has a presence there.
True. Yeah.
They have a school there. One of the girls' schools that we work with is affiliated with the Catholic Church. But most nonprofits, there have been nonprofits that have gone there and tried to work, and they've always left.
Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's challenging. I mean, the first year I went in...
How long did it take you to get there?
Felt like my whole life. It was in 2013. That was the first time I went to Pokot, and there was no road. I mean, you were driving up just a dried riverbed, and it took 2 days to get there, and it was
when does
slow.
safety come into question?
That's a good question.
Yeah. I'm going to ask it, of course, because I think everybody thinks it. I mean, I know I think about it. Like,
I've very rarely felt unsafe.
Okay.
I mean, there's basic things. We don't drive at night.
Sure.
But the partners that we're with, like the people that are Kenyan and Ethiopian, they are very aware of what's going on, and they also want to be safe with their own lives, and so
absolutely.
That's just my mindset the whole time. Is like they would never put us in a situation that we were unsafe.
Right.
And so you just trust our local partners to not put us in those situations.
And the places we go are pretty peaceful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone was very friendly and welcoming. There was like 1 or 2 instances where there was some disagreement or something happened, but because we partner with local individuals who understand the language, the culture, like know how to deal with situations like that, it was, you felt safe and you were fine.
I mean, I would assume they're kind of like cautious when 7 to 10
Oh yeah.
people who
Where
are
they're
not from
just like you
there.
would coming to Chicago if you had like a
Right.
guest, like you would
Right,
take good care of them. Like
right.
it's the same
exactly.
thing. Like we're their
Yeah.
guests and they take good
Interesting.
care of us. So
So I know you guys have an art auction starting this weekend, which is
Yes.
going to be before this comes out. So anyways,
it'll still be going on though.
It'll still be
It
going
goes
on.
till Giving
Sure.
Tuesday.
Okay, nice.
December.
Yeah.
What kind of art you guys got going on in there?
Well, it's a general online auction.
Okay.
So we have all kinds of things.
Nice.
We have some art pieces. We have jewelry.
Oh, okay.
We have, like football tickets. We have vacation rentals.
And this is
like
the
a
first year
whole
you guys are doing that?
No, this
First
is our
time?
4th year. So
Oh,
4th
really?
year. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Yeah. But just, I would say Chicago, since the organization was based in Philly originally, Chicago has slowly been building up kind of awareness for the organization. So that's why maybe you don't know about it as much.
I do want to get to Philly, though. Have you guys been to Philly?
I lived there for 9 years.
You did?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Is that how you got involved?
Yes.
Oh, I guess I should have put 2 and 2 together, right?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
It's
Is it a great
awesome. You
city?
should go. You would
Yeah?
love it.
Never been.
Yeah,
Never been. All right.
it's very underestimated. Like
Yeah.
people think of the East Coast, they think of New York and Boston and DC,
Sure.
and they just pass over Philadelphia.
Yeah.
But
I gotta
My
go.
friends visited from Sweden and England for our wedding, and they did like a whole U.S. tour, and they
Nice.
said Philly was their like hands down
Really?
favorite city. And I was like, really?
I've never been to Pittsburgh. I know you went to school
I love
there.
Pittsburgh, yeah.
So I've never.
It's
I've been there once, I think.
yeah, it's just really it's small, and it's like you don't really. It's similar to Chicago in a way. Like you don't want to hang out downtown necessarily
Okay.
at night.
Yeah.
Not because it's unsafe, just because it's kind of touristy and
Yeah.
it's not really local.
Mhm.
But it's just a beautiful city. It's sunken, so whenever you come into the city, you come up from up high and you just look down.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's really
I just went to the Andy Warhol exhibit.
Oh,
in
nice.
I've been
Venice,
wanting to go.
and he's from Pittsburgh,
He
which I
is.
never knew.
Really?
There's
I did
like
not know
Andy
that.
I was like,
Warhol
okay,
museum
yeah.
there.
They're like
Interesting.
from the Andy Warhol Museum, and then they had a few
Oh,
little
yeah.
descriptions too, and I was like, oh wow, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
Just a small
Small
gnat.
fry. Yeah. So I asked Sarah when I saw her when she came back. I go, it's tough to get used to what we take for granted in the United States. I mean, what do you think like is the main thing? How about that? I know when I go down to Mexico City, like we can't do any water or any of the food. Like the food could be washed in the water. You just never know, right?
Yeah.
Cocktails,
No
depending on what
vegetables.
bar you go to.
Yeah.
That's why you just do like straight tequila. But what do you guys
We
think?
didn't do that.
Yeah. We don't drink on the trip.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm curious. Like, what's that kind of like when you're connecting or getting into the culture with them? Like, what do you guys do? Like, I'm picturing like fires and dinner, and that's how you guys connect. But if you guys can speak on that.
Oh, gosh.
Oh Lord.
That could have been
Could have been.
bad. Okay, so I guess it's a two-part question.
Yeah.
One, kind of what do I think we take for granted?
Yes. How about we start with that one?
Okay. It's a challenging question because there are things that I missed, but I don't think we necessarily take for granted the most. So, like, just vegetables
Gotcha.
was one of the things, but I mean, they eat vegetables while they're there. We're just not used to it. So, as an outsider, that was hard and something that I missed, but it's not something we take for granted.
Yeah.
I would.
That's okay. You don't have to be on the spot.
It may have been electricity,
Yeah.
which it sounds kind of basic. But just, like when the sun went down, we went to bed. We didn't stay up and we didn't have electricity to turn on lights and, keep things on. And even we stayed at some guest kind of hotels, hostel things where we did have electricity, but a lot of the times it went out just unexpectedly, and that was normal. And like in Ethiopia, sometimes they just shut down the internet because they're the government and they can do that.
Damn.
So just those
That's crazy.
privileges
Yeah.
of being able to control our lives that much more, where we can have light when we want light. We can talk to someone across the world when we want to. We can power up our phones.
Yeah, I mean, what is that? What even world is that considered? Is that fourth, fifth? I don't even know.
Those are outdated terms.
Are they outdated terms? No, I don't know. Tell me. I don't know. Hey, correct me.
Even
I don't
developed
know.
and developing world are going out of style.
So developing world are going out of style.
Yeah,
Okay, this is why you
you're
guys
like
are here.
elementary school
This is
generation.
why you guys are here. So I know. So you can educate me. So what are the terms?
The most frequently used are developed and developing,
Okay.
but I think that also.
But does that
this is like a
encompass
whole
it?
nother
Oh no, I'm
conversation.
ready. I'm ready.
Yeah.
You better turn the timer off.
Yeah. There's a lot that goes into that, and why people.
Oh, okay. That's it.
It's 6:40.
Oh, I was gonna say I thought it was 6:40. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
So developing world.
That is the most common terms used are developed and
Okay,
developing world.
gotcha.
So they would
But does that encompass it though?
No, because I think it well, there's a lot to that, but I think at a basic level, like what does that mean is the question.
Right.
Like what does developed mean? Like what would a developed Kenya look like? Like it takes this position of like we have it right.
Yeah.
we've arrived somewhere and like you haven't. And that I think feeds into these power structures and especially in the African context, colonization, it feeds into some very like historic power structures that have existed and have unfortunately like perpetuated throughout generations. So I think.
So what are the correct terms?
That nobody knows right now. I mean, I've heard different things. I heard this week actually from someone they called it what they say economic fat and lean countries.
Come on now. Come on.
But there's a lot. I mean, I think the point is
Where
that
does
it's
that
being
even come
questioned.
from?
But it's
Because
fat.
we are economically fat.
So now you're
In
calling
more
people
ways than
fat.
one.
Now you're literally calling people
Physically,
fat.
I mean, it's kind of actually pretty appropriate.
It sounds appropriate now that you think about it.
And it relates to, so before we went on the trip, we talked a lot about how in the US or Western countries in general, we give because we have excess. So it's like we have fat, right? We have extra to give. And that's the only reason why people give. Versus in Kenya, if someone's sick in the community, everyone will rally around and give what they have, even though they don't have excess, they don't have extra, but it's just that sense of community. So I think like fat and lean is appropriate.
Yeah.
That is very good. I like that a lot, actually. I do.
There's a few different terms around right now, but I think it's good to question those terms that we become so used to saying and be like, well, why do we say
Absolutely.
that?
And I read that like the terms were people who are the first world, second world, third world were for countries that aligned with oh my God, I'm going to totally get this wrong. I want to say like something in the
good
World
thing
War
you're the editor
II.
too.
I know, right? Exactly. Well, I don't edit this, by the way. It's just one long B.
Right.
Whatever. I just thought I read that it was the countries that aligned during World War One, two, three, four. So, anyways, that's what I read. So that's why I was curious. Like, what? I don't even know if it even goes low. So that's why I was wondering if it's a developed country or fourth world or however that is. So, what would you say you take for granted, Kaitlyn?
Convenience.
Convenience.
Yeah, just the convenience of things in our life. And I actually find while some things can be frustrating, like you're trying to check something on the internet and it's not connecting, I actually find it pretty freeing to lose some of the conveniences. And
I'm sure.
Especially now because I go every year, I know what to expect to a degree. And so I go into it with different expectations. And then I come back here and I get so frustrated when things don't work the way they're supposed to. Because
be perfect.
when there, I'm like, oh, the internet's down, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the electricity went out. I got a headlamp. It's fine.
I keep reaching for these food here. I just want to give a quick shout out to Christine and All Seal for hosting us. That was the wine, beautiful furniture, beautiful space. Yes. So, thank you again. So convenience of also, I'm assuming travel too.
Oh yeah, everything.
Just getting everything.
Yeah.
Damn. So you were there for how long then?
2.5 weeks total.
Do you extend that every year?
I go 2 to 3 weeks every year.
Okay.
But now that I'm going to be doing it full time, I'm gonna go 2 or 3 times a year.
So now that you're doing it full time, has there ever been anybody full time in your?
No.
Okay, gotcha.
So we had a part-time executive director up until earlier this year, and then I will be full time, and then we're actually also looking to bring on our first
hiring.
Kenya. Yeah,
Who's
we're
ever
hiring.
listening?
The position's bigger.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. Sorry.
Okay, gotcha.
But if a million of you donate, we could hire more.
Right.
We are hoping to, or planning to actually, hire Duncan, who is our partner in Kenya. So
very cool.
hopefully he will be full time starting in January sometime.
Nice. So
Hopefully his current employer doesn't listen to this. In Kenya.
Conveniently, he may not. So we have the art auction.
Yes.
I know you guys did the gala or dinner.
Yeah.
I was out of town that weekend that you guys do that on. But what is that? When does that happen?
Yeah.
Yes. So that right now, the date is still being solidified, but it's probably going to be around May 8th.
May 1st or 8th.
Yeah.
Whatever one of the first 2
or
Fridays.
second Friday in May.
Cool.
It's called Harambe, and it will be hosted at R5 in
West Loop.
the West Loop area.
R5.
R5, yeah. They're
It's a space owned by SGS Co., which is a company here in Chicago. And it's a beautiful loft space, and it's perfect for the event. It's got a full bar set up, and they donate the space to us.
So why do you guys call it Harambe?
Harambe in Swahili means all pulled together. And Harambe is actually an event in communities in Kenya. So that's what Sara was talking about earlier. Like people, if Sara's daughter is sick, the community will Harambe. They all pull together to meet the need of Sara's daughter. And then the next day, if I have a need, the community will pull together to meet my needs. And so the idea is that everyone's pulling together to meet the needs.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So that's May, first week of May.
Yeah, we'll probably have it solidified the next month or so.
Yeah.
And then we'll share that with the world.
You guys raised significant money last time too, right? Good chunk.
Yes, yeah. So we had the goal of $50,000,
Nice.
and the night of we were very close. I think at
It's like 47,000.
47.
Okay.
So then we extended that to the World Wide Web
Yeah.
and pushed past our goal and raised a total of $51,000.
Oh, perfect.
Which meant we could fund all 3 projects that we were trying to fund.
So now, are you sharing that with the Philly the chapters, or I don't know, how does that work? Like, are there
The event?
Yeah, the
Or-
funds.
Oh yeah,
All
the funds go towards the organization as a
Yeah.
whole. So it's
Gotcha.
not really chapter based. We have people in Philly, we have people in Boston, and everyone puts together. We have a 6K that we do a walk for. We have Harambe in
Oh,
Chicago.
that's right. You guys do the 6K.
Yeah.
I
We've
forgot
had
about that.
Harambe in Philly and in Indiana.
Yes.
Fort Wayne.
Yep.
Yep. So everyone's efforts just get pulled together. So
Yeah.
our online auction also supports all the projects that we'll be also raising funds for at Harambe this year.
Nice.
But yeah, so it's not divided by
So,
places.
can you comment on the 6K really quick? What that?
Sure.
That's Sarah's thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the 6K, it's transitioned a little bit, but it's called 6K from afar. So we try and get everyone to participate no matter where you are, but ideally on the same day, so we're all doing the same thing. But the thought is that women in Africa, women and children, in Africa walk on average 6K to access water, and it's not even clean water usually.
Mhm.
So our efforts is to build that awareness. So we're walking the same distance that they would typically walk, and then also raise funds at the same time.
Gotcha.
So in Chicago, we generally walk along the 606, and some people run. But it's very casual.
Like one person usually.
Oh, okay, cool.
The overachievers.
I would be walking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I always say that because people get nervous. They're like, "Oh, is this timed? Is there a race?" I'm like, no.
We just want your registration fee,
yeah.
and you can do whatever you want.
Age bracket, sure.
Yeah.
But I think it's really powerful to see everyone participating all across the country.
Yeah.
And when does that happen? Sorry.
It happened, typically it's in like June.
Yeah,
Okay.
it used to be in May, then it has shifted a little further into the summer. And with Harambe in Chicago now, in May, it'll probably be in June again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a small effort that we do, but it's $35 usually to sign up. So very simple and affordable for everyone to participate. And then you just run or walk wherever you are.
And we end up Big Star.
Yeah, we do end up Big Star.
Perfect.
So some motivation.
Yeah.
It's a good,
It's fun.
yeah, just to build more awareness for the organization.
So you have the Harambe,
Mhm.
which is the June?
May.
Excuse
Beginning
me,
of May.
May.
Yeah.
And then you have
The,
the
6K in June.
And then you have the art or just
The
The
auction.
online auction.
And then
the
you
fall.
do the Bazaar
We
as
do
well.
Bazaar.
Okay, nice.
We also have the Maasai Stash Warriors happening
What's
right
that?
now.
What's that one?
That's PBD.
Okay,
The architects and designers, the men, those who can grow a mustache or beard.
nice.
And for the month of November, everyone, it's like Movember, but everyone grows out their facial hair, and it starts with like 8 or 10 different designs and styles. This year we
sounds
even
fun.
had a design your own.
Yeah.
Wow.
No.
Yeah, and every week people vote, and every week 2 more stash styles get voted out, and then the first weekend.
Is that a public voting or is that an internal voting or how do you
We
guys?
have pushed it out to PBD and
Network,
all the like vendors and
Okay,
reps and manufacturers and whatnot.
Nice.
And then there's a reveal party on December, I think it's the 2nd,
And that happens at
it's next
at Gentleman's.
Co-op.
Yes,
Very cool.
they host us generously. PBD supplies the pizza and beer, and that is open. Like people can buy tickets for $20 and come. We reveal the winning stash,
Also, it's coming
and
up.
it's a live shave.
It's like right after.
Yeah,
It's coming up shortly. Then.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
December what? Do you know?
I think it's the 2nd.
Okay, like a
Whatever
Tuesday?
that. I think it's a Monday.
Monday.
It's the Monday
Okay.
after.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe it is.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense because December 3rd is the Giving Tuesday.
Perfect. So
So,
it's like in 3 days after this is launched.
yes.
Perfect.
So you can buy tickets and come and watch all of PBT's finest
Yeah, right,
get
right.
shaved.
Well, I mean, congratulations. I mean, what
Thanks.
are the other goals for 2020 since you're coming to the end of the year, 2019? What are the other goals? I mean, even individually and for the company, and what do you guys have your goals for 2020? You guys can speak on that. It doesn't have to be the organization specific, like personal goals, anything like that.
Mine is I've been working basically 2 full-time jobs for the last year plus. It has felt like running the organization and working at PBD.
Yeah.
And so my goal is to kind of find myself again. I
you
feel
go.
like I
Yeah.
pushed so many of my hobbies to the back
Well, you got
burner.
married
and-
recently.
No, it's 2 years ago. Yeah.
And you had the high school kids, right? At the end?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I was making sure. Like,
They were
I was
our
like,
taxi service.
I'm pretty sure that was Kaitlyn's. 'cause
Who
I
got me home?
Everything, yeah, exactly.
He was a weird
Everything was
16-year-old.
super, super blurry. All I
Good.
remember
It's a good
is
party
that
then.
there was kids hanging out.
Yeah.
Like they were all standing there, and I think your
Yeah.
dad or someone was like, "Hey, if
'Cause
you
the
guys need to
cops,
ride
like-
home,
Yeah.
So
And there's like
wait.
one Uber
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
I thought it was
town
great.
of Holland.
So I saw that the one kid had a Michigan State sweater
Yeah.
on. I'm like, "You're driving us home." So of course that's his shotgun, and he's loving it, right? And we're
Yeah.
all like blaring the music, and he's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
what advice would you give? So we started talking to him. It's me, and then 3 people in the back just
Yeah.
yelling at this poor child. But, yeah,
Probably the highlight of his year.
yeah, right. It was pretty fun. But I tell people that, like, hey, this was cool. Like, this is the wedding I went to. They had high school kids drive you home. Like, it was a great idea.
Yeah.
You know, where if you could ever implement that, but that
Yeah,
the
Brad's
props to that
cousin
for sure.
drove Brad and I to the hotel. I was like,
Nice.
so romantic.
So good. So finding yourself in 2020, I like that.
Yeah, just like getting my hobbies
Getting
back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Having
Absolutely. You get
some
lost.
free time,
Yeah, you get lost real quick.
connecting with people.
Sarah, anything for you?
To be honest, I've not thought about it too much, but
Because you're so busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Well, you guys just got back from London. Talk about that real quick.
yeah. So we were in London for about 5 days for a wedding. So
Nice.
my best friend from when I lived in Tokyo moved to England, and so we were at her wedding, which is really nice.
I've never been to London.
Me
Yes.
either.
Gorgeous, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to bash London, but it's usually not top on my list just
Okay.
because I do like to travel, and I guess I like more like interesting places. And to me, a place that speaks the same language is not as interesting.
Well, I mean, you don't have to go to Africa to find that too.
But you can come again
But you
if you
can
want.
go again.
We'll
Yes.
be going back.
Going in February if you want. Come.
Yeah. But it's a beautiful, gorgeous city, and it just has so much history, and every building is just, so much detail and ornate. Everything is
Yeah.
beautiful. And you come back here and you're like, oh, I thought that building was pretty, but
Yeah. Right.
but yeah, it's a really fun city, and the public transit is super easy, so walkable there, very safe.
Did you guys go out? What was the cocktail bars?
Yeah,
or anything like that, or?
We did a lot of touristy things.
Okay.
We went to the Churchill War Rooms, which is like the underground bunker
Nice.
where Churchill, was there in World War II. We did, what else did we went to the British Museum. They have amazing museums there, and the architecture of the museums is beautiful. Like, I went to the British Museum because it was a Norman Foster building, not because of
There
what's
you
in
go.
it. But it has just, amazing historic artifacts and things that world-renowned
Yeah.
museums. And then we did go to a football match.
Oh.
Yeah, England
You
versus
even got the vernacular right. The
Montenegro.
football match.
yeah. It was really cool.
Yeah, who won?
England.
They crushed them.
It was like 8-0.
Oh,
man.
That's too bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
That's
this
bad.
is so much fun.
So much scoring.
Yeah, so exciting.
Yeah, usually there's like no scoring.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So it was good that it was very one-sided, but it was at least exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was talking with Kaitlyn about this earlier, but it was just really unique to see people coming together in such a patriotic way,
Yeah.
because we don't really have that in the U.S.
Sure.
So we just have it for the World Cup or for the Olympics, but in general, we don't compete internationally with our athletics.
Yeah.
And so to see everyone singing their national anthem and waving their flags and being patriotic in that way was really cool to see.
Nice.
Something I feel like we don't really have here.
And I asked you if you saw Idris Elba when you were out there.
No,
You
but
did
I
not.
saw Jude Law.
How did you know it was so you didn't know it was
She
Jude
didn't.
Law?
Well, I knew he was a famous person.
Was it a small cafe, big cafe?
Oh, really small cafe.
Okay.
And he was we were waiting to get in, and he was standing there, and he has the most piercing eyes. And he had his hair
Is he
was
tall, thin? They're smaller, right? I
yeah.
heard Hollywood people are
Actors-
smaller.
No, you always think they're these big people. You
Yeah,
see, you're
no.
like,
They're usually
this is disappointing.
He was just average, I would say.
Okay.
Average height, weight, but, had a nice jacket on. His hair was a mess, but kind of like that, celebrity, like cool that I just got out of bed look.
Yeah.
But yeah, his eyes were just like crazy blue. I'm staring at him, and I'm like, you look really familiar. And then Chris told me it was Jude Law, and I was like, okay, yeah. And then he heard us say that, and then he left. So,
yeah, I'm out of here.
yeah.
Oh, buddy.
What are your goals for 2020?
Oh, my goals for 2020? Oh, shit. I don't know.
Turning it around
that's
on you.
tough. No, that's great. Thank you. I think seeing where this, podcast stuff goes, I think I still want to interview tons of different people out there who are doing
Yeah.
different things. And as I told you guys, like the range I think is possible is interesting. So following this, seeing where this goes, and then continuing to work. I'm doing a lot of learning at my current job, which is great. So, and that's something that's satisfies me, is always just learning and constantly learning. So I think that's about it. I got to drop some pounds. So, like, if we're talking like real goals.
Did we bring up a sensitive
I gotta
topic with the
drop some
economic
pounds.
fat?
Yeah, economic fat. I hear I'm a fat person. Maybe cut back on cigarettes. But no, it'll be a good year.
That's a
for
good
sure.
one.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go to Milan in April, and then for Design Week.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we'll see, and that's about it right now. So,
Nice.
Yeah, and where can people follow you guys individually, and then follow also?
It's all private.
Is it private?
Mine is.
So good.
Mine's-
Hers is
Yours
not.
Well, you
Mine's
changed
not
your name. Why did you change your name? Can you talk about that real quick?
So I was at a lecture actually here at the Merchandise Mart with Kia Witherspoon.
We are in All Steel showroom, by the way, on the
At the
11th floor.
Merchandise Mart. Yeah, I was with Kia Witherspoon, who's a designer from DC.
Okay.
And she did a lecture just on a workshop on social media. And
Very
I
cool.
attended with my firm, but also because I help with the efforts of communities.
By help, she does it all.
Nice.
As of right now.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. So I was trying to just get insight because that's not my background.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, she was a very interactive lecturer, which I really liked. She was walking around the room, asking a lot of questions. And she goes, what's your Instagram handle? And she pointed to someone, and immediately I was like, don't pick me. Don't pick me. Like, I hate my handle. And she was going over how your handle really should reflect like who you are.
Yeah.
And mine originally was not my name. So
What was your?
Nope.
You're not even gonna go there.
Nope.
Not even gonna go there.
Nope,
Okay, good.
I can't.
That's good.
Oh, I remember.
I tried to remember when I saw that she changed it. I tried to remember and I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
But
It
I
was
won't out her.
embarrassing because at the time
It's like your AIM
Yeah,
screen name
right.
from
Yeah,
like.
right.
not appropriate. So now that I view my Instagram more as efforts to bring awareness to the organizations that I
involved in.
support
Yeah, of
and
course.
my work.
Yeah.
And it's really, she put it really well. She's like, there are so many other avenues to share personal information.
Mhm.
There are text messages, there are emails, there are, private groups that you can set up. Like your Instagram is free marketing for whatever you're passionate about.
Sure.
And so I actually went through and archived a lot of my personal things
Yeah.
on mine and tailored it a little bit more so that it supports the organizations and kind of passions that I have.
I like that.
And
Yeah.
So what is that new handle?
Oh, life as Sara G.
There you go.
Because no one can ever say my last name.
So
I'm
it's
Yeah.
always Sara G.
and
Yeah.
it's life dot.
Yeah, life.as.Sara.g.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. No H.
No H, yes.
Correct. Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about? Well, since yours is personal, like,
Yeah.
do you don't have social media, never mind. So do you want to
So
do?
you
No, I
can
know.
re-
I'm
you can
joking.
request.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
But you can follow community.
There you go. So what? Wait. Talk about how it's private. Like, what do you put on there?
On
What is
my-
your personal Instagram?
Scandalous thing.
Or it doesn't
You'll
even-
never know.
You'll never know.
Nothing. I just.
Nothing. Yeah, you just keep it private.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
what is community then? Or how did you guys come up with that one? The community social media. Yeah, like the handle.
Oh.
It's
Was
just,
it pretty available?
It's community_now.
Wow.
Okay. And
That's what our website is too.
everybody.
Communitynow.org.
Okay.
No, Facebook's just community.
Facebook.
I had trouble finding on Facebook.
Oh, really?
Nice. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well, you can follow Weisendale at Weisendale.
Yes.
And
Nice.
again, I'm at Hello, I'm Felix. So
Yeah.
just signing off. Just want to say thank you. Any last words you guys want to talk about?
No.
You guys good?
Thank you.
You guys
This is
comfortable?
great. Yeah.
Yeah? Okay,
Yeah.
good. Salute. Cheers.
Cheers.
Come by.
Come back.
Your safety is important. If you observe unattended packages, vandalism, or suspicious activity, inform CTA personnel immediately.